To the third Matchmaker Roulette, this very simple event in which we check out some of the outrageous claims that people have made about the Matchmaker on Magic Arena. What we do here is basically we try to see if those claims are going to happen to us when we actually try on stream. So this is our third Matchmaker Roulette. And in the first two Matchmaker Roulettes, well, no surprise there. None of the claims that we were considering actually did happen on stream. But you never know. I mean, you don't have to believe in those claims to consider that they might happen, because everything is random, they certainly can happen. So it's not a matter of whether or not they happen. Yeah, I'll get there, Bravesh. It's not a matter of whether or not they'll happen. It's a matter of whether or not they'll happen live on stream to me today. So what are those claims? Let me get my list. All right, just use the computer. Just a moment. I wanted to use a separate screen for the claims. So let me just go there. There we go. All right. So the claims that we are going to go over today are as follows. Claim A. When I play Jank Brews with not so many rares, I only get paired versus Jank Brews and not tier 1 decks. So when I play Jank Brews, so says claim A, I only get paired with other Jank Brews. So although you did say only get paired, which means 100% of the time, we're going to give a bit of possibility for error there and say that the actual claim is 90% of the time. All right, so 90% of the time, if you play Jank, you get matched with Jank. So that's claim A. Claim B, if I play anything with Scoot, and by this we mean Scoot Swarm, I get paired versus nothing but rogues or Rakdos at least 90% of the time. Again, here he said he gets paired with nothing but rogues and Rakdos, meaning 100% of the time. But we're going to put a bit of leeway there and say 90% of the time. So 9 out of 10 times. All right. So the next claim is if I play. So this is claim C. If I play Gruul. And by this, I would probably think Gruul Adventures. I get paired against life gain decks. So there was no mention of percentage for this one. So we're going to peg it at 50% of the time. Right? If I play Gruul, I get paired against life gain decks at least 50% of the time, which I think is reasonable. Next, if I play Mill, I get paired against 180 card decks at least 50% of the time. So not just Yorion decks, but decks that have 180 cards, right? So again, here we're pegging it at 50% of the time. And then finally, when I use Golgari midrange, whoever even uses Golgari midrange now, I get paired against Golgari midrange at least 50% of the time. All right, so those are the 5 claims that we are going to look into today. Again, let me remind everyone that this is not a formal experiment. It is not a formal experiment, because in order to actually do a formal experiment on any of these claims, you would need a lot more design. It's not impossible. It's just very, very tedious, and I don't have the time for that. And so instead, we're going to do this. Okay? All right, so how are we going to do it? Well, here, I have prepared the decks that we need. Right, so I underscored them with roulette. So these are the 5 decks that are mentioned in those 5 claims. What we're going to do is we're going to play each of these we're going to enter the queue with each of these 10 times. And we're going to base whether or not it happens on those 10 games. Okay, don't worry, we do not intend to actually play the games. Right? We're just going to go into the queue, see what we're up against, and then concede. So a lot of people are going to be very happy with this because right now I am at Mythic, number 364. So I will be sinking my rank in doing this little stunt. And this is the first time we're doing this on Mythic. Previously, I was doing it when I was at Platinum 4 or Diamond 4 so that I won't lose any ranks. But after, since I already qualify for the next qualifier weekend, then I don't need that rank. So I'm fine with tanking it out. All right? So I guess we can start. So remember, in order... Yes, we are going to concede 50 games. We can also check how low we're going to go in terms of the percentage. We can also see how low we're going to go in terms of the percentage. Well, we are technically, we might not need to concede 50 games because, for example, for the first claim, it's 90%, right? So if it's already clear we're not going to get 90%, then we can go to the next one. That way we can save some time, right? That way we can save some time. All right, so let's start. All right, so remember, if you want to, there were two ways. Oh, by the way, so there were two ways of winning this event, right? So previously I advertised this event, and if you chose one of these claims, you don't necessarily need to believe in these claims. You just need to choose one of them. Although that time is past now. You just need to choose one of them. If they do happen on stream, then everyone who chose that will be entered into a raffle to win a lot of prizes. What prizes are we talking about? Gem codes, a draft code, and $50. But if none of these happen, I'll still be giving out a smaller, much smaller prize, which is a 1,000 gem code and a couple of FNM codes, which I'm going to raffle out to people who participate in the chat. All right, so without further ado, let's head on to our first claim. The first claim is when I play Jank Bruce, I only get paired against Jank Bruce and not tier 1 decks. All right. So that is this. So this is the deck. This is the Jank Brew that I brewed. Not really. I mean, you can't get more Jank than this, right? This is a 5-color, whatever was the first common in the in my card history, whatever was the first common there, the first 8 commons there, I just chugged it into this list. So this, I guess, qualifies as Jank. Now, what qualifies as tier 1, right? So for that, we're going to go with what is there on MTG Goldfish, right? So basically, if it's Gruul, Aggro, or Blue Black Mill, or Temur, Ramp, or some Yorion deck that isn't 180 cards, of course, a regular Yorion deck. So things that we see typically on the ladder or on the meta, those are the tier 1 decks, right? So everything else, Golgari midrange, for example, I'll call that a Jank deck. All right. Hey, Asmodian, I already repeated what the claims are. So let me just repeat that for you again quite very quickly. Claim A: when I play Jank, I only get matched against Jank. Claim B: if I play anything with Scoot Swarm, I get paired against Rogues or Rakdos. Claim C: if I play Gruul, I get paired against Life Gain. Claim D: if I play Mill, I get paired against 180 card decks. And claim E: if I use Golgari midrange, I get paired with Golgari midrange. Those are the 5 claims very quickly. All right, so let's do this. So this is all in standard, by the way. Standard ranked, best of 1. We are going with Jank Roulette. So if you disagree with me on whether or not this what I get paired against is Jank or not, then please let me know in the chat. Alright, so this is Jack, the first one. I'm recording it with pen and paper as we do this. I'll keep this. So this isn't jank, okay? Are we clear that mono red is not jank? On the best of one ladder, mono red is not jank. Mono red is the most popular deck that you're going to see on the best of one ladder, right? So RDW. So already we're supposed to check if we get paired against jank 90% of the time, and already that's not happening. Right, so now we're down to 516. Yes, I agree, Bavesh. Mono red is as you said. All right. So maybe the next one is going to be jank. Or maybe the next one is going to be jank. We are up against Illuminaria, who is at number 411. Unlikely that he's going to go jank. We're going to shock our opponent with our beloved princess. Beloved princess! Go! Oh my goodness, it's a Lurus deck. Alright, alright. Now, what is going to kill? Oh, Bargain! Bargain! Alright, so I think it's clear by now that this is not a jank deck. This is blue-black rogues, one of my favorite decks in Standard. Yes, so definitely not jank. But we can kill. We can kill the thief. Let's just play around with our opponent for just a bit. Just a bit. Blazing volley. We killed our opponents. We killed our opponent's Thieves Guild Enforcer. Yeah, that's it. So blue-black rogues, right? UB rogues. So already that won't cut it anymore for what we wanted to do there. But we'll play a couple more games, okay? We'll play one more game of this. Just maybe on the third try we get something that's jank. Now this might be jank because not 98%. It's possible. It's possible. Although we're done with this claim. We're done with this claim because it's 90% and we already are at 2 games in out of 10. Yeah, I'll keep that. So this is probably mono green food, which is again not jank. Our opponent, yeah, okay, so this is mono green food. So, and our opponent can't believe his luck. It's like, oh my goodness, what am I up against? What is happening here? But just to show you that it is mono green food. Oh, it's not. Alright, my interest is piqued. Why do you have Kier Triome? Why do you have Kier Triome? Or did they just want to cycle stuff? Two Kier Triomes. 3 Kira Triumphs. I see. This is borderline jank for me. What do you guys think? Although, again, the claim is 90% of the time, and we're already past that with the two most popular stuff. But at the same time, the claim was that if I get matched against, if I play jank, I also get matched against jank that don't have so many rares. And these are already 3 rare lands over here. This is a rare, this is a rare, that's a rare. So I'm just going to say this is some weird mono green deck. I actually a bit intrigued by what this is. Let's see what he has. What? Oh, attacking creature. Alright, so it is mono green that splashed red for some reason and wanted to use slow lands. Right? So it's mono green that tries to do the Akroan War for some reason. Alright, so it's food with red. This is enough. Alright, so we are done with the first one. Like I said, we don't need to play all 10 games if we already passed the threshold. So let's do the second one. The second one is, if I play anything with Scoot Swarm, I get paired versus decks versus nothing but rogues or Rakdos. Okay, let me. There we go. Yeah. But they also splashed blue for some reason. Did they splash blue for something? Is blue there for a reason or just for cycle? If it's for cycle, it's a bad idea. You're an aggro deck. You have to be fast. You can't afford to have 4 tap lands. Anyway, what do I know? Okay, let's go to the second deck. Scoot Swarm. So the claim did say if I play anything with Scoot Swarm, well, this has 4 Scoot Swarms and a whole bunch of different forests to make our Scoot Swarm feel right at home. Alright? So let's see how many times we get paired against Rakdos or Rogues. Now, 90% of the time, it says. You can I actually accept that if you play any deck, you will get paired against either Rakdos or Rogues because those are very popular decks in the meta. But I doubt you're going to be paired against them 90% of the time, regardless of what deck you use. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's sort of believable because those are meta decks. Should I mulligan this? I always hear forests. Alright, we're gonna keep any hand with a Scoot Swarm. Oh! Yeah, like I said, it was going borderline jank, but like I said, since we are going for 90% jank, since the first 2 decks were already non-jank out of 10, so we can stop. Even if that does make sense to me. It is borderline jank. That's true. This is Doom Foretold. So this is neither Yorion nor Rakdos. So I'm going to concede now. I'm just going to write it down. I am a bit interested though because it's Swamp. I wonder what this is. Let me just do one more turn, alright? Let me just do one more turn. I'm just peeked at what this is, or if our opponent just kept 3 swamps because he had a golden egg anyway. There's a mono black? Alright, that actually feels like jank to me. Although that's not what we're testing now. Anyway, so yeah, so this is Yorion Black something. I'm gonna concede. So yeah, this is neither rogues nor Crossa, and we are now at 1097. So this is also 90% of the time. This is also 90% of the time. So again, we only need one more hit here, and then we are done. You think this one is going to be rogues? Yeah, I saw that. I saw the mono red Yorion deck was from way back. I think it's lost its appeal. Did CGB revive it? It lost its appeal a long time ago. There was some of those running around the first time companions came about. I didn't keep one with Scoot. So this is another Yorion deck. So this is definitely not rogues, definitely not Rakdos. And this is, I guess, the more reasonable Yorion decks. Esper. Okay, yeah, that would be fun. That's because if you want Yorion as your companion, then you'll have to make a mono red deck that's how 80 cards? Why would you want to do that? Alright, Yorion Esper. I'm gonna say Esper. I'm gonna concede. So we can actually move on now because it does say 90%. But again, we are going to do one more for the road before we proceed to the next challenge. I mean, to the next claim. Let's quickly do one more. Alright. I wrote down the claim, so. Alright, Mulligan. Yeah, we'll keep that. It has our favorite insect. And this is the third time I've done this. If you want to check out the other 2 times, it's in my page. The last time how we did it was, the viewers got to guess what the matchup was going to be. And if they got to guess it right, they win prizes. And if they were able to guess it several times in a row, the prizes get bigger and bigger. But no one was able to guess more than once correctly. I guess this is mono white. So again, neither rogues nor Rakdos. So it's safe to concede here. All right. We're almost at percentages where our rank is concerned. Alright, so the third one is Gruul. Alright, and this list is very close to my heart because it almost won me qualification to the Kaldheim Championship, almost because I went second. So, oh well. But yeah, this is a very nice list. This is, I think, credit to this list goes to Autumn, right? Yes, I did. So the main deck Embreath Shield Breakers here were exquisite. Very nice in the meta. Has any of these claims ever happened yet? The answer is no. So and that's the whole point. The whole point of this is that we see a lot of these claims going around about how the matchmaker is biased, or how the matchmaker is rigged and stuff like that. And you sometimes wonder if those are actually true. Now, of course, those things can actually happen. You can actually go online and at random get matched against 5 mill decks 5 mil decks in a row. That can happen. That's not impossible. But it doesn't mean it's rigged. It just means that when you played, a lot of other people who happen to be playing rogue decks were also playing. That's all there is to it. There's no need to shout about it being rigged and stuff. But still, we see them around, and so we have something to do. Alright, so the claim was that if I play Gruul, I get matched against Life Gain. Oh, we were just matched against sort of Life Gain, right, with the Scoot Swarm deck, at least 50% of the time. So we will be doing a bit more matches with this, since we only need to hit it 5 times out of 10. We only need to hit it 5 times out of 10. So we need to fail 6 times for us to be able to move on. Alright. So I will try to speed up conceding. So we will still stay on track because I want to finish in an hour. Alright. I'm actually slightly tempted to play, but there's no point. No point. What were we? Life gain decks, right? This is not a life gain. Well, let's see. Let's see. I'm actually thinking about what to play. What am I doing? Yeah, if one of them does happen to be right, then I give away all the prizes in the event. Now we are entering jank territory. So, is this a life gain deck? Because I think I should count this as a life gain deck, right? I'm gonna go ahead and count this as a life gain deck because this has life gain and this has life gain, right? So I'm gonna give this a benefit of the doubt. Although this is certainly not what we mean by life gain deck. Well, he has life link and he has life. Oh, this has life. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is mono black life link, which is a point for our claim, and now I'm gonna concede. So that is 1 point for our claim. So we only need to hit 4 more life link decks. Okay. 4 more life link decks, and then we have a winner. We will still go through the others because all the claims that happen get to be entered in that raffle. This might be the day. I finally get hit by the roulette. Alrighty. If this was an actual game, I would mulligan this. Yeah, if this was a real game, versus Yorion, yeah, I would mulligan this hand. This is much better. And then take out the Akroan War. That's useless here. Alright. So this is not a life gain deck, but we'll wait a few more turns just to confirm that it is in fact either blue-black Yorion or Esper Yorion. Yeah, so I think I'm safe here to say that this isn't a life gain deck. This is some Yorion UB deck. So I'm gonna concede now. So 1 for 1. There's still a chance. Just need to get 4 more times to hit a life gain deck. Alrighty. Now, if you're thinking about ranking up right now, this is a good time to go to the queue. No, no, no. Rivka, I will have to disagree. Having a golden egg does not mean life gain. So this isn't life gain. This is mono green. Yeah, I doubt it too. I doubt it too. But again, that's the point. That's why, like, so when you play the lottery, right, you don't expect to win. But sometimes you might. So it's the same sense here. I feel comfortable and confident that I wouldn't that I wouldn't have to give out all the prizes. I do, but I might not. I mean, it might happen that it actually comes true. So this is mono green. So G. I'm gonna concede here. Alright. Just to speed it up. So we're nearing 30. We're already past 30 minutes. I think I'm gonna exceed an hour today, which is fine. Which is fine. That's not true, Vavesh. The odds of winning the lottery is not 50%. If that's the odds, then half the people who bet on the lottery would have already won. Well, I get it. I get you're making a joke. Alright. Is this Selethnia counters? Maybe it's a life gain deck. Yeah, I get you're making a joke. Alright, this is some... Yeah, I think this is Selethnia counters. Again, stuff you don't really see until you're down the percentages already in Mythic. So definitely not a life gain deck. So I'm gonna peg this as green-white counters. Yep. And concede here. Alright. That is true. Conclave Mentor does gain you life. Alright, keep. It's actually again a mulligan, but I just don't care at this point. Pay life. Because we're tough. Yeah. Gonna attack you with my brush fire. Yes, yes. We're still on chance. We still have a chance for 50%. We still have a chance for 50%. This is green-white adventure. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think that when you tell someone, oh, this is a life gain deck, that's what comes to their mind. That's true. Definitely not a life gain deck. Right? But I just... Wait, I might even win this. Alright. So maybe not. I think I could still win this, but definitely this is green-white adventure, right? I'm gonna stop here. Because I don't want to waste more time. There's nothing to prove by playing this further. That is true. That is true. Alright, we just need to do 2 more games if those are not against lifelink. If they are, then we'll need to do more games. So currently we have 1 lifelink deck, and that's not even the actual... Well, we're counting it as a lifelink. It's mono black lifelink, which... let's let that be that. Alright, but so it's 1 lifelink deck and 4 non-lifelink decks. This is interesting. In hands like these, you're not really going to be doing a lot with the Edgewall Innkeeper yet. So you don't want to play the Edgewall Innkeeper. You don't want to play the Edgewall Innkeeper, especially against a Yorion deck, because this can save you much later in the game when you actually draw adventure cards. So I'm gonna concede here. This is not a life gain deck. Whoa, what is this deck? Okay, yes, it's Yorion, mono blue, maybe even a mill deck. How many cards is in the library? Well, it's a normal Yorion deck. It's not an outrageous Yorion deck. Alright. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just 1 more that's not a life gain deck, and we can move on. Just 1 more. Yeah, but he was drawing multiple blue. He was playing multiple islands, so he might be mono blue. I don't know. We're entering jank territory because we're at 96, so those things can happen here now. There's a lot more jank when you... I've been told. I've never really gone to 96% before, but I've been told that a lot of the jank decks can be found in the lower levels of Mythic. And I misplayed. I should have played this first. Actually, Tom, that's a very good question. The short answer is no. Because to calculate that, you would have to know how many of those decks actually exist in the meta, and how many of those decks are actually expected to be in the queue at any given point of time. And we don't have that. And you are correct in that feeling that it's about a very, very small chance. Because due to the vast number of possible decks, although this is technically a discrete setting, right? This is a discrete setting. The sheer number of possible decks make it so that any of these claims happening has a very, very small chance. Has a very, very small chance. That's true. Wait, is this the same guy? Because this then is a life gain deck, and we'll have to do 1 more game. Is this the same guy we were up against earlier with the mono black life gain deck? Do we get paired? Oh my goodness, it's the same guy. I wasn't paying attention. Is this the same guy? It appears so. I mean, all you need to break through to Mythic is mainly just time. Yeah, it is the same guy. All right. So I begrudgingly will say that this is our second life gain deck and concede. All right. So we still need to do 1 more because we were paired against a life gain deck. In fact, the same person that we got paired against earlier, just because no one else was in the queue. But I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. So we are still 2 life gain decks, and then we have 5 non-life gain decks. So Luros, well, Luros has lifelink, so maybe it's a life gain there. If this is Luros enchantments, that is not a life gain deck. Neither is cycling. But haha, haha, I caught you, little fox. I caught you. That is true, Bavesh, yeah. It is not the traditional, that's what I was saying, but I'll take it. So this is cycling, definitely not. Well, it is sort of life gain because, you know, Solar Flare. By the way, as you can see here, you can get to Mythic with a cycling deck. It's a very cheap deck. If you need to get to Mythic, I suggest use a cycling deck. It's cheap, it's fast, it will get you there with enough games. Yeah, but again, it's not what we mean when we say life gain deck. Healer isn't even the main point of the cycling deck. It's Flare. All right. So I'll do one more. Let's do one more. Like, suppose we're going to consider the cycling deck as a life gain deck, which I think is not the case. Let's see what else we get. Oh, this is my favorite opening. Having access to Lovestruck Beast. Oh, this is a life gain deck. Oh my god. Now we have to do the last one. Alright, fine. This is life gain. Again, I'm not considering cycling as a life gain deck, but since we're here already, yeah, I think this is a life gain deck. This is like if you play Speaker of the Heavens, you're trying to gain life so you can take advantage of the Speaker. So we're actually going to say that this is going to come pretty close. We're not there because we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 non-life gain versus 1, 2, 3 life gain, and 2 of those are mono black life gain. So that's a bit of a stretch. But we're still, this is our first actual life gain deck that I'm going to say is a life gain deck. But for purposes of the challenge, yes, I agree, Bavesh. So we're actually going to finish all 10 games with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is the 10th game. I hope it's not that. Oh, it's the Agadim? Probably Rogues. Yeah. So this is Rogues. Or blue-black control. Definitely not life gain. UB. Yeah, Rogues. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I can finally finish this one. Okay, the next one is interesting. And this is one that you hear a lot. This is one you hear a lot, I think. Or this is one I've heard a lot. Whenever I play a mill deck, I get matched against decks with 180 cards. So we're going to go with 180 cards. Yeah. So we're going to go with 180 cards when I'm actually willing to go down to even anything greater than 80. Because I do understand there are a lot of Yorion decks. I do understand there are a lot of Yorion decks. And this isn't about going up against Yorion decks. This is going up against like really decks that are out there with more than the number of minimum cards that they could hold, which does not make sense. All right, so this is our deck for that, the mill deck. I just pulled this off Goldfish. I don't know what a mill deck is. Like, I don't think there's a working mill deck right now in the meta, but if there was, maybe it will look something like this. So you do know that there are a couple of nice combos here with the Nyx Lotus and the Corridor Monitor. We're not going to do those combos. We're just going to play the deck. I mean, check the matchup. All right. Bear with me. We will go over 1 hour for this Matchmaker Roulette. Oh, so I did. Okay, so I only need to check this, right? So definitely no. 60 cards. Let's just take note of what the cards are. The 60 cards. Do I need to know what I'm up against? No need, right? Let's just speed it up. Let's speed it up. Let's speed it up. I just need to check the number of cards in the deck. Let's speed it up. Okay, another 60 card deck. That's another 60 card deck. So we just need to see. Wow, I'm at 92. %. How low is my rank going to be after this stunt? Thankfully, thankfully it resets back to platinum after the season ends, so it's fine. Another 60 card deck. See, even when we're already here at the low percentages of, wow, my rank didn't even move that time. It stayed at 92%. Yeah, I think we're just going to go a bit over. Yes. Oh, no. For the mill, the Gruul, and the Golgari, there was no mention of an actual percentage. So I pegged that at 50%. I pegged that at 50%. But yeah, for the Jank and the Scoot, the claim was always. So I pegged that at, and there was further explanation on when it happens and like how often it happens. But basically, the idea is it happens always. You can look at the Facebook posts on the poster. There's a poster that I made for this challenge, and on the poster are the Facebook posts of the actual claims. So you can check those out to see how they were worded. Of course, for those that were not worded clearly enough, then I had to improvise on the actual percentages. So this is our 5th game. So far, we've only been matched against 60 card decks. Where are all those 180 card anti-mill decks? Where are they? Where are those 180 anti-mill decks? Another 60 card deck. This is getting boring. Congratulations! You just moved up a percent. Free win. Alright, one more. One more and we can move on. We didn't even get to go up against someone who has more than 60 cards, like even like 61 cards in their deck. Imagine being saved from getting milled out. See, another 60 card deck. That gives me a nice feeling though. It kind of means that people know how to build decks. At least a lot of people know how to build decks. Only put 60 cards in them. That's how you build the correct deck. Unless you're using Yorion, of course. Alright. We are at the last claim. And this is the claim I think that got the second most votes. Oh, was the first one actually had 63 cards? Shame on him. Okay. Alright. Okay, so it is the last one. So the last one is if I play a Golgari deck, I get matched against a Golgari deck, and we're pegging that at least 50% of the time. Alright? So I don't know what a Golgari... I do kind of know what a Golgari deck looks like. I think it looks a bit like this. So I'm going with this. It's fallen out of favor in the meta, I think, at some point or another. Although it might still be favored against Gruul. I'm not sure. Yeah, but like this is just bad versus things like Temur, Ramp, or actually any control deck that can take care of Innkeeper quickly. Alright, so this is what we're gonna play. You mean this one? The one I made? This one? Yeah, this actually was sort of a thing for a while. The Nyx Lotus and Corridor Monitor combo into a Thassa's Oracle, and I guess Mill here is their secondary win con, but they still have Ruin Crab, Maddening Cacophony, and Tutelage, so it's still a very strong secondary win con. Yes, that is what I have here. Is Golgari Adventure. Golgari Adventure, essentially, because we have Innkeeper and a bunch of adventure cards. I think this is what they meant when they said Golgari mid-range. Alright, so here I just want to check if it's Golgari. I don't even care if it's Golgari aggro, mid-range, or control. If we're up against Golgari, then that's 1 point for the claim. Alright. Scoot Golgari. Alright. Oh, black. We only need to see green. Oh. Probably we're not going to see green. I'm gonna give him a chance to kill this Edgewall Innkeeper. Maybe I finally get a win here or something. Oh, it's mono black. Is this the same guy? I think this is the same guy. Is this the same guy from a while ago, the one when we were testing live game decks? Wow. He's following our percentage. We've given this guy so many wins by now. Oh, this is a different guy? No, it's not a thing, Lavesh. I myself have not... Okay, not the same guy. I myself have not seen Scoot Swarm for a long time. I used to have one Scoot Swarm when Omnath was still legal. When Omnath was still legal, I used to have a one-off Scoot Swarm in my Temur ramp deck, which was funny when it went off. I mean, it's a very nice. It's still a valid hit from your ultimatum, and sometimes it can do things that your the other one could not. The enchantment one could not. Yeah, but that was when Omnath was a thing. Of course, Omnath is banned now, so no, I don't play Scoot Swarms. Although I would say that Scoot Swarm is still not a bad card choice for Temur, or Temur Ramp. I'd say it's still a fine hit. It's still a fine hit, but probably not as a 4-off. The first one was mono black. So this is definitely not Golgari. I can probably concede here. This is RDW. Is this RDW? Let's see. No, Gruul. Definitely not BG. Although, do we want to wait? Maybe it's Jund. And then we need to further evaluate. I feel like Scoot Swarm decks are only found. Well, I guess so. I mean, at lower ranks, you can virtually play with anything. And still get, I guess, a good enough win rate. And for climbing the ranks, it does. Oh, it's ramp. All right, so this is ramp. Gruul, probably even Timur ramp. Let's see what he gets. No, just Gruul ramp. So it's jank. So conceding. %89. Just a few more games. Just a few more games. All right. Yeah, I think there was a time when Scoot Swarm was doing well. I'm not sure. My memory of past metas tend to be fuzzy. Kind of scare him with our heart's desire. Maybe this is Golgari. Oh yes, we want that. We want that because we have Love Struck Beast. Which means we might actually get to cast it. Nope. Nope, not Golgari. I'll wait one more turn just to make sure it's not Abzan. Yes, I have never been to 89% as well. Thankfully, since I made day 2 in the last qualifier, I don't need to rank up this season because I automatically qualify for the next weekend. So that's why I'm doing this at Mythic. Usually I do this, so this is definitely green-white. Usually, in the past 2 times, I've done this while I was in Platinum or Diamond, because then I can afford to lose ranks. But I've never done this in Mythic because I don't want to lose ranks. Did you have fun? Yes. Because of course I didn't want to do this in Mythic because I don't want to lose ranks. Cool. Asmodean, you've been playing Magic for 3 months or just Arena for 3 months? By the way, if some of you are trying to shoot for a qualification for the next qualifier, if you check out my page, I do have a guide there that will let you know if your rank is safe a certain number of days before the end of the season. So you may find that interesting. This is definitely not... what? Wait, what is this? Why? Okay, I am intrigued. I am intrigued. Why is it Yorion? Why is it Yorion? But with what are we up against? I mean, this is definitely not Golgari, so I can concede now. So is this what? Okay, so this is the sort of anti-milled. Let's see. He just milled himself, so we could We could see, because he's going to mill himself some more here. Let's just see if there are actual white cards. There aren't. This is an 80 card Crossa deck. That was an 80 card Crossa deck. The Yorion was a meme. Alright. So this is our 5th match. We only need to do more, two more that are not against Golgari, and then we are done. Oh, one of his lands flipped white. All right. Well. Oh, just a moment. All right, I am back. And so this is definitely not Golgari. Let's just see what it is. We don't really... Wait, what happened? We won! I think that was a cycling deck. Yeah, no one really knows who brews which deck. That's an important thing to remember. It's like no one can claim authorship over a deck, I think. Alright. It's still no BG. This is not BG. So this is, let's just see what it is. It's probably mono white life gain. Or mono white something. Maybe life gain. But I can concede now. So that's it. That's 6 and no Golgari. We'll do one more for the road, and that will be it. That's our 6th match. I just want to do one more. And we're at 88%. So at lower ranks of Mythic, it does not fall as much. That's what I found in this experiment. I mean, this, not experiment, but in this little stunt. This is not Golgari. Attack! So let's just see the Rakdos. Probably a Rakdos. Definitely Rakdos. Yep, so that's it. We can concede here. Alright. So 5 claims, all bust. For the third Matchmaker Roulette Mythic Edition, and our rank sank from 300 something to 88%. All right. Yeah, I mean it's fine. No offense taken. This isn't like I'm not doing this for people. I'm doing this mostly for me, and that's the same for a lot of the other things that I do on my page. It's really just stuff that I find interesting. So no offense taken, Tomas. And yeah, everyone is still eligible for that raffle for this stream. But really, again, the point that I'm trying to make here is that all of this is random. I mean, again, this isn't actual proof that these conspiracy theories are not true. It's really not, because it's very difficult to design an experiment that can actually test something like this. It's not impossible. I mean, give me, like, say, maybe 30 people who will do exactly as I say, and I'll be able to design an experiment for this with everyone in their own computers and, like, playing or entering the queue at the exact moment that I say, and we can test this for real. But like with what resources I have now, it's not possible. It's just not possible to test this. So that's why I'm doing this instead, and this is just for fun, just for fun. All right, so that concludes this edition of the Matchmaker Roulette, and so none of the claims panned out, and so you will see another Matchmaker Roulette after the season ends. Ah, yes. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like I said, raffle off a 1,000 gem code and a couple of other bonus codes. I will be announcing who wins. I won't be raffling them off immediately. Well, I will be raffling them off stream because I have to check how many people are in the chat. Can I do that now? Let me see. So I don't disregard anyone. Yeah, I have to, because I have to make sure that I'm able to include everyone who contributed to the chat. All right, so I will be posting the winners in this same video. I'll post it and I'll notify you through Facebook, and you will see the code. If you win, you will see the code as a direct message. All right. So I hope that you enjoyed this little stunt. I know I did. And this is the third Matchmaker Roulette. And I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.